Gaurav Bhatia, very serious charges made by Ashok Gehlot saying the BJP is behind these riots, claiming that that the BJP is fanning rumors, BJP workers removed Islamic flags, replaced them with saffron flags. The BJP wants to stir a communal divide ahead of election next year. Your response, sir?
Ashok Gehlot ji can make any charges he wants to, Rajdeep. The harsh reality staring at him is the fact that law and order in Rajasthan has been a casualty. And these are my questions for him. I know he's left your show now. But if I was an anchor, I would have asked him one thing. Matloob Ahmed, the main accused of the Karoli riots, even after a month has not been apprehended. Why has he not been arrested? Is it because he's a Muslim? My second question to him would have been, Asif Ansari, another accused of a communal riot, was invited to an iftar party hosted by the CM himself. This would have been a very relevant question. My third question to him would have been that when the Supreme Court and the High Courts have been directing removal of loudspeakers from all places, irrespective of the religion, and Yogi Adityanath ji showing how rule of law can prevail over radicalism, removes 54,000 speakers. I have this news for your perusal. Just 3 days back in Jaipur, not only the roads were illegally blocked for namaz, but 18 loudspeakers were installed rather than removing them. My fourth question would be that when maximum number of rapes, 2019 NCRB data says 5,997 in Rajasthan, unemployment at its peak at 25% compared to UP at 4% and Gujarat at 2%, petrol being most expensive in Shri Ganganagar, a city in Rajasthan. How is it that, he can make lame excuses, and what are the excuses? One, he said BJP is to be blamed. And I will say this with some responsibility. Say if a BJP person, which I deny, is involved. Law and order is a state subject. Read the constitution rather than reciting the Sonia Chalisa. And it is entry 1, schedule 7, list 2, state list. So you should have apprehended those people. You have not. Second, they say elections around the corner. Rajdeep, you tell me, 1.5 years still left for elections. Now they are already in election mode. They are blaming the election and they are saying we are doing it. And third, last but not the least, they are blaming Gajendra Singh ji, the member of parliament, for being in his constituency, coming from a party whose national president Sonia Gandhi has not visited Raebareli in the last 2 years, even during the COVID pandemic. And I didn't know that visiting your own constituency was a crime. So such is the logic of Ashok Gehlot.
Okay.
Thank you, Rajdeep.
That was I am uninterrupted. I have given you. Maybe you should be
you are very kind.
Yeah,
very kind.
Maybe you should be an anchor in the future and ask all the questions that you wish to eat. But Supriya Shrinet,
I
just
just
a minute.
thought these came to my mind.
No, Supriya Shrinet, the fact is that law and order, the buck stops with the Chief Minister. Ashok Gehlot, through that interview, kept deflecting it on the centre. The fact is that he cannot escape responsibilities. Law and order is a state subject. You cannot say that the BJP is pursuing an agenda of divide and rule and therefore I have no responsibility. Virtually...
Rajdeep, with all due respect to you and your show and of course my fellow panelists, I hope I'll give him the same civility and courtesy that I offered to him in his 4.5-minute long Rashtra Ke Naam Sandesh. First things first, I think before I answer that question, I want to take a step back and say, whether it's Rajasthan, Karnataka, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, why is it that communal violence is erupting in these states? It did not erupt for all these years, but suddenly it's erupting. Why is it that these states have become fertile ground for communal violence, for communal hatred, for communal clashes? And there is only one answer that comes to anybody's mind. Forget about the fact that I'm representing the Congress party here. The fact that assembly elections are around the corner. The second question that I want to raise to your viewers to ponder over is, and I've been an anchor, so I think I can take a larger role and say, not that if I had been an anchor, but I will take up a larger role and say, Who benefits from this communal hatred? Who benefits from this communal divide? Who is looking to leverage and gain out of that? That's the second point I would want to raise. The third point I would want to raise, and this is getting into the semantics of the place, Jalori, that we are talking about. It is a custom there that whatever festival is being celebrated, कोई भी festival जो celebrate हो रहा है, चाहे वो महावीर जयंती हो, चाहे वो ईद हो, चाहे वो कोई और त्योहार हो, वहाँ पर उसी रंग के ध्वजों से वो पूरा चौराहा भर जाता है. It was on the 1st of March, महावीर जयंती, उससे भर गया, उसके पहले कुछ और था, उससे भर गया. I've got pictures, I can prove that. बालकुंज बिस्सा जी, जिनकी प्रतिमा पर ये सारा बवाल हो रहा था, वहां पर ईद के दिन उनको परमिशन दी गई थी, उन्होंने अपने झंडे लगाए. There were clashes, and I think after the clashes, the police and the administration together arrived at a very possible solution. That's all right. The only flag that will be hoisted there will be the Indian tricolor. Of course, the Indian tricolor is something that the BJP or its ideologue has no respect for, considering they never hoisted it for the first 53 years. 1 second, Rajdeep, let me finish. After that was done, how did violence erupt? And because he's chosen to name Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, I will name 3 more people. Gajendra Singh Rathore, a local BJP leader, Suryakant Vyas, the MLA, and Jagat Narayan Jyoti. For the last 3 or 4 days, they were known to be inciting violence. I am only saying that one needs to ponder over the fact that why Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, and here communal violence is erupting, exactly the case as it was in UP and in Uttarakhand, and who gains out of it. That's the question.
Can I respond?